Guardians, we have something to discuss. A rather controversial take that I know is going to ruffle a lot of feathers out there, especially those most hardcore defending Destiny 2. But this needs to be said and needs to be understood by the community. My name is Fault Zero. I am your host. I typically make Warframe content on the daily, but I occasionally cover some Destiny controversy. And in this one, I am going to sound off on some of my biggest complaints and things that I think really doom Destiny 2. I need it to be understood that Destiny 1 is not the target of this video, but Destiny 2 is what I'm referring to. Let's get into it. What am I talking about? I'm going to make a bold statement, and you may or may not agree with it. Destiny 2 will never make a comeback. There are so many people in the community right now playing this new season of Destiny 2, Season of Heresy, or whatever you want to call it, episode, whatever words you want to put in that blank. However, the point is, so many people are saying, oh man, Destiny's so back, it's so good, I'm having so much fun. If you're having fun, I am happy for you. I hope it is everything that you want it to be. But don't say Destiny's back. It's not back. It's not. Nothing in this season can compare to original Destiny. I'm sorry. I feel like that is not only is that my opinion, but that is the opinion of most of the hardest core Destiny fans. Recently, I went back and jumped back into Destiny 1, the original. Started a fresh character, something I've been wanting to do for a while. And one thing that was made painfully clear to me in doing that in the last few days that I've played Destiny 1, I'll try not to look at it with the rose-tinted glasses, whatever you want to call it, but in almost every way, Destiny 1 outclasses Destiny 2, even to this day. I mean, the game looks phenomenal. I mean, look at it. But the major thing I want to talk about why Destiny 2 will never be back, as the kids say, is the price point. So I'm going to give you a little bit of experience on my side, and believe me when I say this is not just a me problem, this is any new player / returning player problem. The price problem is a major issue when it comes to Destiny 2. A little bit of personal experience. I booted up Destiny 2 for the first time last week in a little while. Since before, the last time I played before Destiny 2 recently was right before Final Shape came out. I used to play all the time with my little brother. We played all the way up until Witch Queen together. From launch, from Destiny, all the way up to Witch Queen. And he quit after Witch Queen. I played Lightfall. And I just kind of decided after Lightfall, I was like, all right, hey, I don't really want to play it anymore without him if he's not going to play. It's just a little sad. But we talked about playing Final Shape. I booted up the game last week, and for some reason, I don't know if there was an update or if I got it for free somehow. But I'm allowed to play because it launched me right into Final Shape, which I thought was pretty cool. But so I talked to him, and I was like, hey, we should play Final Shape. And he's like, well, I can't. I don't have Lightfall. I don't have Final Shape. So for him to get back into the game, he could either get the complete edition, which would cost him $150, or at bare minimum, it would cost him $70 or both. The Lightfall expansion and Final Shape. That's $20 for Lightfall, $50 for Final Shape. That's a lot of money, either way you look at it. And that's what any returning player is going to be looking at. Sure, they might have those two expansions, and they might just be looking at seasons, maybe. But it just depends how long you've been gone. And then that is definitely a struggle when it comes to new players. $150 to get all caught up on your content is fucking insane. I'm going to give you another prime example of how it's a problem. Not only do I want my little brother to play Destiny again, I'm married now, and My wife's not really a big gamer. I recently got her trying games for the first time. I got her into Warframe, and the thought crossed my mind, hey, what would be cool for her to jump into Destiny with us. That's another $150 for her to get all caught up. So if I were to pay, with my tax money coming up, because I like my family to play with me on Destiny, if I were to pay for them to get my little brother to get the 2 expansions and my wife to have all the content, I'd be spending $230 plus tax, with tax included. That is unacceptable. And what makes it even more unacceptable is all the cut content that my wife particularly, would not be able to play. Absolutely egregious. Now the argument can be made, she wouldn't know it was cut. She's a new player. She wouldn't know what she was missing. I would know. And that pisses me off because they cut a lot of the best content. She wouldn't get to experience the Red War. She wouldn't get to experience Forsaken, 2 of the best, hands down, quest lines that Destiny 2 has offered. I, at this point, straight up refuse, unless it goes on sale, which I know it will eventually, but the price point is absolutely unacceptable, and Destiny 2 will never recover its player base and get new players onboarded the way they like to until they stop being so greedy and put these items at a lower price permanently. You can't go back and erase the past and fix the content you've cut. This lawsuit about the Red War proves that. They just don't have it anymore, which is unacceptable. I am praying that Frontiers does something incredible, hard reset to Destiny. I'm hoping it's a standalone version that players can just onboard into and not have to buy all this shit and spend all this money to get into the game or to get back into the game. Because that's driving away a lot of your old players and potentially new players. And that is the main thing I want to talk about. But the second thing I want to talk about is maybe not as important to some players, but is extremely important to me. And I'm just going to come out and say it. The story fucking sucks ass at this point. It really does. As someone who's been playing Warframe for the better part of the year, and then I jump back into Destiny, or not really jump back into Destiny, but I keep my finger on the pulse. I check in and see what's happening with the Destiny story. It never fails to disappoint me. Like I said, I booted Destiny, the original, back up, played it for a few days, and just the music alone, brought back so much nostalgia and a sense of wonder. And I got through about halfway through the campaign, and even still, to this day, 10 years later, I'm still just filled with wonder and mystery and intrigue, and it actually makes me physically angry thinking when I start these quests, the characters ask these questions of, where do we go from here? What's going to happen? And I, being a time traveler in Destiny, know the answer. And the answers are horrible. Every quest, every storyline is concluded in the worst possible way. And one thing that infuriates me, probably more than any other, is the lack of stakes. You're constantly told how dangerous the darkness is, how it's the end of everything, but you never see it. I'm just going to run down a list of names of characters that, quote unquote, died in Destiny 2. Let's run through them, shall we? Cayde, obviously. He's the biggest one. He's the one that most people know about. Even people who aren't hardcore Destiny fans know of his death. Then we have Osiris. We have Saint 14. We have Savathun. We have Uldren. We have Marsov, Amanda Holiday. And if you haven't played Heresy yet, big spoiler, we have Eris, and we have Oryx. Now, I challenge you to find the connection between the majority of characters I just named. I'll give you 3 seconds. Ready? Every fucking one of them, except for a couple, have been brought back to life. Why can no one in this damn game not stay dead? I don't understand it. You don't build tension and stakes if you never worry about any of the main characters dying. That's writing 101, man. Not to mention that the disciples and the witness himself are terrible at their jobs. They can't kill anyone. I understand there's lore implications for Eris and Oryx. Oryx was only brought back for that nostalgia bait. I understand all that. And the main one I can't criticize is Cade. I'm not thrilled that they brought him back just for him to die again. But the argument can be made he was never really back. He was just there to kind of be a spiritual guide for us through the Pale Heart. So I understand that one to a degree. But here's what I'll say. The whole list of characters I gave you 6, 7 names. Are you aware the only character on that list that is still dead to this day is Amanda Holiday? The insignificant character that no one gave a fuck about. The characters that matter, they all come back to life. I say Cade's back, but like I said, he was back briefly. It bothers me to no end. You cannot build a good story, a compelling story, an interesting story if there are no stakes. I am hoping, I am praying that Frontiers is something different for the Destiny franchise. I hope Bungie gets their ass together because we know they can, and they write a good story like we know that they are capable of doing. If they don't do that, Frontiers, whatever they want to call Destiny moving forward, whatever kind of expansion they want to plan, it is all going to be meaningless, because that, combined with the price point, is absolutely killing Destiny as a whole. Destiny 2 will never come back as long as these two things do not change. But guys, that is going to do it for me. Thanks so much for sitting through my rant. It was an angry one, I know, but I'm passionate about Destiny just like I'm passionate about Warframe. But I will catch you guys in the stars.